In a quiet little town lived a family who loved animals dearly. One spring morning, their cat Bella gave birth to 4 tiny kittens. Among them was the smallest one, with bright green eyes and a soft grey coat. The family named him Whiskers because his whiskers were unusually long for such a tiny kitten. From the very first day, Whiskers was curious about the world around him. While his brothers and sisters were content to nap close to Bella, Whiskers often peeked his little head out, eager to see what lay beyond the blanket. As the kittens grew, they began to take their first wobbly steps. Whiskers was always the boldest. One day, while the family sat in the living room, Whiskers climbed out of his cozy basket. His little paws slipped on the wooden floor, but he quickly regained his balance. The family laughed at his determination. "Look at him go." The little girl, Sarah, giggled as Whiskers toddled across the room. It was his first adventure, and though it was only a short walk, to Whiskers it felt like he had crossed a great distance. Whiskers soon discovered the joy of chasing moving things. A loose piece of yarn from Sarah's sweater became his first toy. He pounced clumsily, tumbling over his own paws, but his eyes sparkled with excitement. Every day, his courage grew. When his siblings hesitated, Whiskers was the one who led the way, climbing tiny steps, sniffing at new corners, and testing his balance on soft cushions. The family often watched in delight as the little grey kitten turned ordinary moments into thrilling adventures. One afternoon, Whiskers had his biggest adventure yet. The family left the back door slightly open to let in the spring air. Whiskers, now a bit stronger and braver, noticed the sunlight streaming through the gap. He had never seen the world beyond the house. His heart raced with curiosity, and before anyone could stop him, he squeezed through the door. For the first time, Whiskers stepped outside. The garden was alive with colors and scents. Green grass tickled his paws, and flowers swayed gently in the breeze. Whiskers' eyes grew wide as he saw a butterfly flutter past. He crouched low, wiggled his tiny tail, and leapt into the air. He missed the butterfly by inches, landing in a soft patch of daisies. The family, who had followed him outside, laughed at his playful leap. Sarah scooped him up gently, but Whiskers wriggled, eager to continue exploring. Seeing his excitement, they let him stay a while longer under their watchful eyes. As he wandered through the garden, Whiskers encountered new sounds and sights. Birds chirped from the trees, bees buzzed from flower to flower, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. Every sound was a mystery, every movement a wonder. Whiskers tried climbing a small rock, slipped, and tried again until he managed to stand proudly at the top. From there, he looked out as though he were king of the garden. His siblings eventually joined him, but they stayed close to their mother. Whiskers, however, went further, sniffing at every corner. He found a small twig and carried it proudly in his mouth, as though it were treasure. Then he spotted something truly fascinating, a puddle of water left after the morning rain. Curious, he stepped closer and saw his reflection staring back at him. Startled, he pawed at the water, sending ripples across its surface. He leaped back, only to return again, fascinated by this strange discovery. As the sun began to set, the sky turned shades of orange and pink. The family gathered their kittens and carried them back inside. Whiskers snuggled close to his siblings, but his mind was still buzzing with excitement. He had discovered a whole new world that day. The garden, the flowers, the butterfly, and even the puddle had filled his tiny heart with wonder. It was only the beginning of many more adventures to come. Over the next weeks, Whiskers continued to grow braver. He learned to climb higher, run faster, and leap farther. Each day brought something new: a buzzing insect chase, a shadow to follow, or a new hiding place to explore. His playful spirit brought endless joy to the family. Even on rainy days, when the kittens stayed indoors, Whiskers found ways to make life an adventure. A rolling ball, a dangling shoelace, or even the rustling of paper was enough to keep him entertained. What made Whiskers truly special was not just his curiosity, but the happiness he brought to everyone around him. His little adventures reminded the family of the beauty in small things. Watching him chase a butterfly or discover his reflection was like seeing the world through fresh eyes. The children often said, "Whiskers makes every day exciting," and it was true. His playful nature filled the home with laughter and love. One evening, as Sarah held Whiskers in her arms, she whispered, "You're going to have so many adventures, little one." Whiskers purred softly, as if he understood. His story had only just begun, and though he was still a tiny kitten, his heart was full of courage and curiosity. Wherever life would take him, Whiskers would face it with the same wide-eyed wonder he showed on his very first adventure. And so, in that cozy little home, the smallest kitten with the longest whiskers grew up to be the bravest explorer of them all. His adventures, both big and small, would forever be remembered as stories of joy, laughter, and love.